I cyberbullied a girl to the point where she committed suicide, and I'm dating her older sister. I'm the cancer of humanity. I'm not happy about this. If anything, it's made me quite depressed, and that depression has only grown since that point in my life. I was 15 when this started. The girl used to sit next to me in math and geography class. She wasn't bad looking, like she had a nice face, but she was overweight. A lot of people used to bully her. Hell, her sister didn't even take notice of her in school. I didn't start out bullying her though. In fact, I was sorry for her. I would often try to speak to her in math and geography class, but because of all the bullying, she had become incredibly guarded, like she had to have been traumatized by all of this. She had about 4 friends, and they were considered the outcasts, always with each other, under the same tree every day. The day I started bullying her was really just a stupid thing that I could have easily looked past, but my stupid fucking self back then took it too far. We were in math class, and I accidentally knocked her bag off the desk, so I went to pick it up because all of her things fell out. She must have thought I did it on purpose or something, because she screamed like someone stabbed her. It scared the life out of me. She started crying and screaming and throwing a tantrum in the middle of the lesson. I stood there shocked and confused, like she was having a fit of what happened. The teachers came running in, and one of them took me to the principal's office, while others tried to calm her down. I got into trouble because of this, because she said I bullied her and purposely knocked her bag down. I didn't say anything back to that. I just accepted the detention and left. Somehow, this event became a lot bigger than it should have. People looked at me like I beat her or something. Strange that the people who actually bullied her looked at me like I was an animal or something. I noticed that in math class and geography class that people were nice to her. They asked if she needed anything, and I just got stares, pointy dagger-like stares from everyone. I was pissed. Suddenly, she was a victim in all this, when all I did was accidentally knock her bag down. The only people who believed me were my friends. I was pissed off and frustrated. I went home and added her on Facebook. Within an hour, she accepted, and I began to abuse her, telling her she was fat, she should have killed herself, and that she's nothing, and that she should cut herself with a razor. She would often reply with, "Stop please," but I didn't care at that moment. I tried to help her, and she made me look bad. I did this for about 3 hours straight. I bullied her for hours, didn't even think of the consequences. After a while, she unfriended me and blocked me. I felt better after that. Then the next day I went to school and sat down in math class. She wasn't there, but I didn't really care. She wasn't in all day, or the next day, or the day after that. It wasn't till the next Monday that I saw in the papers that she had actually killed herself. She slit her wrist and bled out in her room. They found her body the day after I bullied her. Her parents walked into her room to wake her up because they thought she had overslept. I was horrified. I couldn't believe that my actions brought upon this loss. I couldn't imagine what her family felt, how her mother felt knowing she walked in and found her daughter's dead body. The pain from her father felt, knowing he lost a child, all because I couldn't let go of something so small. I went home that day and sat in my room all night till morning. Just sat there. I couldn't even say I was sorry because that wouldn't have changed anything. She was gone, and all of that because of me. She had a funeral which I attended because my father is friends with hers. I had to hug her mother whilst she cried, and I told her I was sorry for her loss. I had to do the same to her father and look him in his tearful eyes to say I was sorry for his loss. All the while, I knew that I had killed her daughter, that it was me who pushed her over. I talked to her sister, and she was genuinely upset. I told her I was sorry, and if there was anything she needed, I could help. That day was the hardest day of my life, but I can't imagine what it was like for her family. 3 years later, I meet her sister at the cinemas. I asked her out, and we went on a date to catch up. I asked her how she was doing and how her parents are. Apparently, her father was depressed, even attempted to take his own life. Her mother left him because she couldn't cope with that anymore. She occasionally sees him and said he's getting better. As of right now, he's doing great. Her mother is remarried and she sees her all the time. As she was telling me this, every word was like a knife to my body. I told her I was sorry because that's all I could really do. She and I have been together for 5 years now, but every day with her just reminds me of the horrible things I did. She doesn't realize that she's actually living with her sister's killer. I am not proud of my son. This Saturday, my son will have been sober for 18 months. He got his GED this year and he starts at community college at the end of August. He finally has a job that I didn't get for him. Soon he will be moving into his own apartment and he hasn't missed a single appointment with his therapist. He has done everything you would expect a precocious 17-year-old who had hit a rough patch after meeting with a particularly bad influence. But he is 29. This is the point where I'm supposed to say that, nevertheless, I am still proud of him for turning his life around, getting off drugs and off the streets, staying out of trouble and acting like a responsible adult, or at least an adult who knows the meaning of responsible. Maybe I'll throw in a reference to the prodigal son and kill a fatted calf for him. That's certainly what's expected of me. That's certainly what my son expects of me. He demands praise and forgiveness and a party and me to hug him and tell him it's all right. Demands me to tell him how proud I am that he's made something of himself. But I'm not, because he hasn't, not in the slightest. His mother and I gave him every opportunity we could. I don't expect any praise for that, because unlike my son, I don't expect praise for doing something that I'm supposed to do. She and I worked hard at giving a loving, stable, and comfortable and supportive home. We were involved in his school. We introduced him to music to the extent that any two people can. His mother was a damn good cellist though. And sports and culture, we fed him healthy meals. We played with him. Thanks to him, we got in the best shape we had ever been in since our 20s. And we let him stumble and fall and make mistakes and get back up again. He started shoplifting at 15. The first time we caught him, we bodily dragged him back to the store, made him return the copy of Grand Theft Auto and apologized, and offered to pay for any damages. The second time we caught him, this time with a pair of shoes, we did the same thing. The third time, we started going to family therapy. Therapy seemed to go well, and after a few sessions, the therapist asked for a few one-on-one meetings with him. After 2 of those, the police came knocking on our door because the little shit had concocted some story about how we were some religious cult who raped him for breakfast every morning. And the dumb chicken shit therapist actually believed him. Rational heads prevailed. We fired that therapist and he went through 6 more in many months, until eventually we couldn't find anyone who would take him as a patient. By 16, he was drinking. Then we found pot in his bedroom and in our bedroom. He started leaving needles, bongs, and crack pipes where he knew we'd eventually find them, just to fuck with us. I know this because he said so in those exact words. He had his first intervention and first trip to rehab that year, and his first relapse. He had to repeat a year of high school at 17, which meant he was now the ringleader of a group of other young dipshits who saw him as a mentor shad man who could hook him up with any whatever shit they wanted. I'm also damn sure he started fucking one of the gang's younger sisters around then, but I had nothing to go on but my own instincts, so all I could really do was tell her parents to keep an eye on her. No charges were ever pressed, and the family never spoke to me again after that. But they did pull both of their kids out of that school, and my son was furious at me for daring to not let him continue committing statutory rape. He decided to try for normal rape later on. While I was away, he spent an uncharacteristic night at home and on his best behavior. After his mother went to sleep, he followed her to her bedroom. He took a knife with him. He crept into the room, straddled her, put the blade to her throat, and slid his other hand inside her. I don't know exactly what happened next. I know he held her down and tried to undress her. I know she fought. I know he stabbed her. I know she got away and locked himself in the bathroom before he could catch her. I hope that means she kicked him good in the balls. I know she broke the window and screamed for help. I know he ran. I know she was lucky the ambulance got to her before she bled to death. I know he called his friends to brag and beg a ride. I know the police caught him. I know if I'd been home or if I'd caught him, I would have killed him with my bare hands. The state tried my son as an adult. He pled out, but only after taking his mother to testify and smiling the whole time. She divorced me a month after his sentencing. I looked too much like him. She killed herself a year later. I would be a liar if I said I didn't blame him for her death, because I absolutely do. He was sober when she went into that room, sober when he pulled out his knife, sober when he climbed on top of her, sober when he raped her, sober when he stabbed her, sober when he ran, sober when he called his friends to brag, and sober when the police found him. When I made the mistake of visiting him after the divorce, he laughed and said she had enough of his dick that I can never satisfy her. When I made the mistake of visiting him After she killed herself, he laughed again and asked how it felt to have some prick take your bitch away. I should have killed him right there. It is to my eternal shame that I did not. They let him out after serving 3 years. He spent the next 6 on the streets, in and out of rehab, on and off other people's couches, and would grace me every 6 months or so with a phone call demanding money. Eventually, I refused to talk to him unless it was to drive him back to rehab, and I stopped completely after he stole my wallet. 2 years ago, he came to my house with his aunt, his mother's sister, and in tow and crocodile tears in his eyes. He pretended to apologize. I slammed the door. His aunt barges in and tries to shame me into forgiving the man who raped my wife, causing her death, and laughed about. He stayed outside. He slashed my tires, threw a brick through a window, and drove off in her car. His aunt had no idea that he'd taken the keys, or that he had been armed the whole time, and she blamed me. He guilted her into letting him stay with her, went to rehab and relapsed, then went again, and here we are. In stark contrast to the ball of shit that my son in his life, I have watched my friends and colleagues, those who still talk to me, that is, children, go on to become doctors, lawyers, skilled tradesmen, actors and musicians, academics, entrepreneurs, and career military. I've seen a few start their own families, and even the ones who had a rough start or who stumbled and fell managed to pick themselves up again, or are barely soldiering on. I have nothing but respect for them. I also know that they do not expect a juice and a fucking cookie for having a job and not getting hopped up on meth and or raping their mothers for 18 whole months. My son has pretended to reform before. He has even convinced himself once or twice, but he always backslides, always relapses, always finds new ways to disappoint, always hurts other people for his own short-sighted benefit. His aunt is already at the stage where she is pretending that she must have forgotten, where she put some knick-knack or piece of jewelry, where he has already told me to fuck off after I've warned her of what my son can, will, and has done before, and what he will do again now that he thinks she is weak. When he fucks up again, when he hurts someone else in his ceaseless bullshit, I will not be there to pick up after him. I am through with him. I am through with his aunt. I cannot talk to her without being overcome with rage and shame as I see the stupid hope I used to have that my son would ever amount to anything, and I do not need any more disappointment and failure in my life. I am not proud of my son. I am sorry for inflicting him upon the world. I saw a homeless man getting beaten up by a group of thugs, and I didn't even help. So it happened 2 nights ago. So I, 20 years old, am a college student, and there was this homeless man near our campus in a wheelchair. He's an okay guy. He's in his 50s or 60s, I think. I even give him money when I pass by. But 2 nights ago, it was about 7:30 p.m. when I got over with my classes and walked along the bus stop. I have to walk for about 10 minutes from my campus to the bus stop. Then I saw that homeless guy. But he was surrounded by 5 guys who were all in like their 30s to 40s, I think. They were yelling and laughing at the man about some money, I think. But one of them had thrown him off his wheelchair and he was on the ground and he couldn't even get up because he only has one leg. But when I walked closer, the man looked at me. I've seen this man every day for 7 months while walking to classes and even bought his food. He looked at me and he looked scared. I could tell from his face that he's asking me for help, but I saw 5 guys around him. They looked dangerous, so I crossed to the other side and walked past like I didn't see anything because I got scared. I was a coward, but what's worse is after that, it's been 2 days and I haven't seen the man. I don't know what happens, but for 7 months he has always been around the same spot, and now I feel guilty and don't even know what to do. I feel responsible for something happening to him, and it's been eating me up because I keep remembering seeing his helpless face for the last time I saw him. But I was just a guy with a side bad against 5 guys who could have had knives or any weapons, and now I'm worried if they killed him or something.